Greetings. Welcome to the Live Courageously podcast show. I'm John Duffy, your host, and today's going to be a little bit different. I don't have a guest on, and it's because some of the scheduling of the guests got a little interesting this week. But anyway, would have been the 41st show that I've done since I started it in 2020. Today I'm just kind of going to update you with a little bit of some of the things that I've been involved in and some of the things that I'm going to be involved in as I finish up 2023. But this podcast show, the message of Live Courageously has grown, and I've grown some of the viewership of it. So I'm working on that, and I have some interesting, fascinating, courageous guests coming up for the next two shows. So let me just show you that. And this is going to be coming up next Sunday at 2 p.m. is Ali Covington, who is a fitness trainer, an entrepreneur, a mom, and who shares a very powerful story of overcoming abuse and being able to overcome and still continue to inspire others. So next Sunday at 2 p.m., join us when we have Ali Covington, and she'll also be talking about her fitness program and what she does with that, which is, I think, something that we can all pay attention to and use. And then the week after, on July 30th, I'm going to have a live show with Captain Gregory Duncan, who's a dear friend of mine, dear brother. He's a U.S. Coast Guard. He was for the last 3 years, he's been running the Coast Guard in the Caribbean and Haiti and all over the Caribbean. He has amazing stories from that experience. He's also a diplomat. He's also a producer, an actor, a writer, and he has some powerful stories that we're going to be sharing in 2 weeks. So stay with us. That's coming up. And then, of course, beyond that, every week at Sunday at 2 p.m., I have another 75 plus guests, friends mostly, and then some new friends that I'll be interviewing, having conversations with, sharing their courageous stories. And one of the challenges for me will be, as I'm going forward, I started this on instinct. I started this to create a message of inspiring people to live courageously. But going forward, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find a way to step it up to do it twice a week, because there's too many guests that I need to have on. So stay tuned, stay with me, and we'll get into that. Now, just to give you some updates on some of the stuff that I've been doing besides this podcast show, and I'll be sharing some of that, just giving you a quick thing, and people can get a chance to watch this either live or later on recording, is that besides the podcast show, which you can go to Live Courageously, John Duffy, Duff Square Film at YouTube, and subscribe. So this way you'll be notified when it goes live, and it'll be on Facebook, it'll be on YouTube, and it will be on LinkedIn. And I'm also working to try and move it into Spotify and iTunes and a bunch of other places. So any help that anybody has with that, feel free to share that with me and direct message me or email me. And beyond that, one of the other things that I've stepped up to during this period of time is that I started a Substack newsletter called Live Courageously. And last Wednesday was the 3rd issue. And this was the headline of it, Live Courageously, issue number 3, The Great Divide. And that's a book that I was interviewed in many decades ago by a great oral historian who is passed, Studs Terkel. And I wrote about in that issue how I kind of remembered finally why I got into podcasting and why I'm doing this Live Courageously. And that issue number 3 of John's Substack is my journey into podcasting. And it tells a little bit about why I think I went down that road, because I started out many, many years ago in the Bronx doing oral history interviewing. Some of the oral history interviews that I did was turned into a play and was performed at Lehman College. I acted in that play. I went on to do research interviewing. So I've had and then I created my own public access TV shows, 2 of them when I moved to Los Angeles, and did a ton of interviewing on TV on the public access shows. So even before I got to create this Live Courageously podcast, it's been a journey that I've been on for a long time. So check that out. Check out my Substack newsletter, Live Courageously. Subscribe to it and share it with people. And I'm going to be going down some interesting paths as I start to explore different aspects of my life, and I step my life up to the next level in all the different areas that I'm involved in. So please join me on that journey and check out my Substack newsletter. And so that's a little bit of it. I'm going to try and keep this relatively tight, which people who know me know that's means I will try and breathe in between topics, which is rare for me. But I'm just going to share a bunch of things that I'm doing, and when you get a chance, you can watch this on a recording. So one of the other things that I've been doing recently is I'm on the board of a nonprofit called Game Ready Enterprises with a dear brother of mine, Lou Simon, who has, for the last 3 years during COVID, he started a woman college softball league in the summer to be able to encourage and support these young women on their journey and learn skills of leadership and excellence and team, and encourage them to not be afraid and get out there. And he did it during the 2 COVID years. This year, we've stepped it up, and it's been a 6-week softball tournament, and it'll be finishing up next week with the championship on Friday. And I'm hoping to do a live podcast from the championship game out in Orange County. So I've been supporting him. We put together a team of young students from Cerritos College who volunteered to film and do stills, so we can use this to promote the league both this year and to build it even more powerfully next year. So these young women have a place in between college to come back, fall in love with their sport, fall in love with their what they love about playing softball, and encourage them to their greatness. So we've been doing that. That's been a great experience for me. So that's just a little bit of some of that. Then this is an upcoming thing, and I'll be attending it. Hopefully September 21st will be a screening at the Burbank International Film Festival of a short film that's been winning a lot of awards throughout film festivals throughout the country. John Mendoza produced it, directed it. He's a member of the Hollywood American Legion Post 43, which I am also a member as a son of the Legion. And so this particular short film, Hollywood Post 43's Last Stand, is a hell of a fun film about zombies. And so it's going to be screening at the Burbank Film Festival. Not only did I have a chance to kind of help a little bit behind the scenes, but I actually acted in it. And John gave me the opportunity. He asked me to come back in front of the camera, and I did. And I had a blast with these other veterans. And so if you get a chance, and I'll be sharing more in the future about Hollywood Post 43's Last Stand, a very cool short film. So that's a little bit of what's going on in my world. Just some other good things that are happening, and I'll be sharing in the future as well. But I'm just kind of giving a information dump, so to speak, and just sharing all the things that are going on. Next thing coming up is a film that I did years ago, and COVID kind of like pushed it to the side a little bit. But it's called Miracle in East Texas, and it was directed and acted by Kevin Sorbo, and his wife Sam Sorbo's in it, and you can see some of the cast that are in it as well. John Ratzenberger and anyway, I'm just blanking on the names of all the people in it. But we filmed this in Calgary a few years ago. It was a great opportunity based on a true story. Great script that tells the true story of these an oil guy and a grifter who basically ripping people off, con artists, and they end up discovering the biggest oil find in the history of Texas. Great fun movie. It's going to make it to the movie theaters in October 28th and 29th at a Phantom release, and it also will probably get a wider release as well. I'll be sharing about that and probably going out to Florida for the screening of it if I can. So that was a great experience. We had the folks in Calgary, Canada team up there. Jason Wan Lim, producer, who was our producers up there. We went up together with James Quattrochi and myself from the U.S. So it was my first time working with Kevin. Got a chance to do it again a few years later with Left Behind, and got to produce that up in Calgary as well. But I'll be sharing about this. You'll love this film. It's a great film, Miracle in East Texas, and that'll be in the theaters October 28th and 29th. All right, so that's a little bit more of what's going on in my world. The other stuff that I'm involved in right now, I'm part of and supportive of a group called Dirt Merchants Universe, or Dirt Merchants Film. and you can check them out online. They've done over 12 films, features, shorts, music videos, and they've created a unique environment where you can participate in all the films that they're doing, watch all the films they're doing, also participate to work behind the scenes with the films. And there's more films coming up in the future. They're also about, their whole message is about motivation, inspiration, transformation. And so Henry Morales is the founder of this, and I've been supportive of them from the beginning. They also put on, and I'll show you this, they're putting on an event to mentor young people, and it's going to be at USC. I spoke a few years back at one of their youth mentorship programs as well, and they're doing it again this year in July. So I'll be posting about that on my Facebook page as well. So if you get a chance, check out and go to the website, Dirt Merchant Films. You can find it on Google or Dirt Merchants Universe, and you can see some of the projects that they're doing. Check out some of the free content. If you want to rent a film, you can rent a film, but check out that. So that's a little bit of what I'm doing. What else? I'm going to keep this one short today, like I said, because I have 2 upcoming podcasts with guests next week and the week after, and then I'll continue that process going forward. One of the other things that I probably will be doing this year, been invited by a dear brother of mine to come in August to a place called Yap. And I'm sure if anybody on here knows where Yap is, you win something. I'll buy you a drink, but I'm sure most people don't know where Yap is or even know what it is. So he was raised in Yap. I'm going to show you the map. It's part of Micronesia and the Federated States of Micronesia. And if you look on the left, you can see it's to the southwest of Guam. And most people, or not most people, but a lot of people know what Guam is. And we have a military base there. He was raised in Yap, was in the military, was in the Army, served over in Iraq, and is now back in Guam and Yap and working for the governor of Yap. And he's bringing me and another one of our partners, George Ohan, to come over there to scout, to eventually do a documentary about the island of Yap. But even, looking at this picture today, I was just, looking at where it was, because I thought I knew where it was. And then I looked, and here it just shows you where it is in the thing and how far it is out there. And it just, I didn't realize, boy, I am going on an adventure when we go to Yap, that's for sure. And we're going to be going between the different islands, flying from Yap to some of the smaller islands as well. So his name is Alex Gilliffe, and he's going to be bringing us out there. So that's a little bit of what's going on for the rest of the year for me. And like I said, I'm going to kind of wrap this up pretty quick. The next thing is on my agenda is a trip to Nashville. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I'm just getting pulled, and I've never been there. I have friends who've moved there, both in the film industry and other areas of life. And I'm getting pulled to visit there all year long. It's been coming up to get to Nashville. So in November, I'm going to try and figure out a way to put together at least a week trip to Nashville so I can connect with all the friends I have down there, explore the town, and see what the pull is and why I'm being pulled there. But that's coming up. And if anybody knows friends in Nashville, or contacts for me, or people who I should meet with while I'm down there, please direct message me. And I'll also be sharing more on my Facebook page as well as my planning gets closer and I get an idea what time I'm going, and I'll start reaching out to try and make this a very productive trip for myself and just another adventure, because I've never been to Nashville. I've been to Texas, South Carolina, a couple of other places, Georgia. I filmed down in those places, but Nashville, one time I was down in Georgia doing a film, and I was going to drive to Nashville, and I realized it was too long a drive. I had one day to get there and get back, and luckily I wasn't that crazy enough to do it. I would not have had enough time to experience it. So that's on my agenda this year, and then I'm gonna finish this up, and then the final thing on my that I need to get accomplished this year, and I'm putting it out there and I'm working on it right now in different capacities, is to publish my first memoir. I have a second one in waiting right behind this that's written. And this is the first memoir I've written, Not Your Average White Boy. And this is a true story of my journey from the South Bronx to Hollywood. those are two different potential covers, and it may not be either one of those that I end up with, but that's just a little bit of what's on. And I got to put some work into this to rewrite it in the next couple of weeks, put together some photos for the book, and then go through the plan and of putting it out there. And we're going to self-publish and then self-market it and put it out there and begin to share this experience, because I've had a very unique experience growing up where I did in the South Bronx, and a very unique experience going on the journey and the adventure that's been my life. So that's coming up for this year. So that's just a bunch of things. There's a couple other things that I'm involved in that I'm not going to talk about now. One coming up this year that I'll be working on, and I'll share that later when it becomes real. And then another one that's probably out further next year in 2024. Well, that is a feature film that we've been working on it for a while, based on a true story of Termite Watkins. So that's going to be still in the works, and we'll see what we can accomplish with that next year. And then I have some other who knows journeys in 2025. So I'm looking ahead. A lot of things are coming. But once again, check out my Live Courageously YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Please share it. Also check out my Substack, Live Courageously, John's Substack, and subscribe to that as well, so you can see a lot what I'm doing. And in the future, whatever we can do, connect with me. Let's see how we can support each other. Let's see how I can share whatever I've learned to help you, to mentor you. So feel free to reach out to me. And that's a little bit of why this may be the shortest I've ever talked in my life. Anyway, yes, this will be the shortest I've ever talked in my life. So anyway, if you get a chance, if you haven't watched it, watch this. Reach out to me, subscribe. Here's some of my ways that you can reach me. You can email me. You can check out my YouTube channel, Live Courageously with John Duffy. You can catch me on Facebook. You can catch me on Instagram. And now I got to put my Substack on there. But you can also check out my newsletter on Substack. So that's the way that you can reach out to me and stay in touch. And what else? And of course, this is what you need to do to vote. And once again, so that's a double subscribe. So yeah, get a chance, please subscribe. And once again, reach out to me. I'm hoping to, I feel got a lot of stuff coming up this year. I know it's an interesting year. The film industry is shut down and will be for a while. But in the meantime, there's so much stuff going on in life, and just trying to turn out as many positive things to impact people that I can. And hopefully the Live Courageously, my podcast show, my Substack letter, and some of the film projects that will be coming up in the future will be of some value out there to inspire and to motivate and to lift people up. And so whatever you do, have faith over fear, man. Live courageously. No matter what life throws at us, we always have a choice, and the choice is to live courageously. So until I see you next Sunday at 2 p.m. on my podcast show with my guest, Allie Covington, please turn in then to watch it. It's going to be about a little bit of a difficult story, that what she's gone through with abuse, but the turnaround is what she's accomplished and who she is and the inspiration she has. So I think it'll inspire you to watch that journey with her as we have a conversation together. And then, of course, the week after, the conversation with my good brother from the Coast Guard, who ran the Coast Guard in the Caribbean for the last 3 years, and is also a producer, director, actor, writer, and a bunch of other things. So anyway, join me next week on Sunday. Join me the week after. And until then, live courageously, and may you make your life a masterpiece. Have a great weekend.